The latest from William Beckmann is Tennessee Drinkin' on Maverick 100.9. And I've got William in stereo. I was about to say in person. The last time I interviewed you was in person up in Steamboat, and you gave me the wink and said, I've got something great to follow up my single with. And I was very excited. So this had been what you've been teasing us about since January, huh?
It has. Yeah, we've finally got these songs rolling out, and there's still more that I'm holding on to, but we'll be putting them out in the next few months, and I'm super stoked to be putting new music out again, and it's making our live show a lot more fun. So, yeah. I
don't know how you could make your live show more fun. You may have to, if anybody's ever seen your live show, they're going, what the hell? How do you, is that possible? Are you telling me that that's possible?
We're trying. We're always trying to make it better and more entertaining. We like trying to surprise people, so hopefully we're continuing to do that.
Well, I got to tell you, you did make an appearance at the Texas Regional Radio Awards this year. And
I did.
Talk about one of those moments that a bunch of people didn't know what was coming. There's a lot of videos of me out on the internet. I don't know if you saw them. From your little pop-up at the after party.
Oh, yeah, when I got on stage with Kinfo.
And Sunny Sauceda. So, backstory. Obviously, you know I'm a fan of yours. Duh. But I've been a fan of Sunny Sauceda for a little over a year now. I found his music. And that was the moment that they said his name, and I knew who he was. So I was losing my mind. Absolutely. They invite him on stage. I'm losing my mind because I'm a huge fan. I didn't know that was him. And then I saw you walking across. Well, first I heard the song he started singing, and immediately you popped into my head and you started walking across the room. I immediately stood up, started screaming. I had tears in my eyes. I'm jumping up and down, and everybody's looking at me like I'm nuts because they didn't know what was coming, and that was you.
Yeah.
So then in these videos, oh yeah, as soon as you open your mouth, everybody's screaming, and I'm like, well, duh. Jerks.
Well, we had a good time. It was just one of those spontaneous things that happened. But those are some of the best moments on stage is when you don't have anything scripted or planned. But you know, Rico's a friend of mine, and he told me that they were going to do something. He didn't tell me when they were going to sing that song, but it was one of those things. They started the song, and I was mid conversation with somebody. I was like, "I'll be right back. I think I need to go to the stage."
Oh my gosh! I am so happy that I was there in that moment, and I do not think anybody in that room was happier than me. I'm pretty sure there wasn't. There's no way. But there is video proof of this. Y'all go check me out on Instagram. You know the deal. But
that's awesome.
Everybody's always used to me fangirling. So let's talk a little bit more about new music, because that is a really big focus of yours right now. First, what order do I want to do this in? Because I love talking to you as a songwriter. You are one of my all-time favorite songwriters. If anybody goes back in our interview history, they can hear from start to finish how you even learned how to write songs. But let's just dig into the writing of Tennessee Drinkin'.
Yeah, for sure. So I did a I was up in Nashville writing with a couple fantastic songwriters, Jeremy Spillman and Randy Montana, both of whom have several number one hits under their belt. And we kind of just started with an idea, and it sort of evolved into a story, and Corpus Christi got thrown in there somehow, and we made it kind of like, you know, met a girl out in Corpus and hung out on the beach, and then had to go back to Nashville, and you know, the only way to cope with not being with her was to go to the bar and have a couple drinks, and so it tells a cool story, and I was really, really stoked to be in a room with people whose songs I know and hear on the radio all the time. So that was really cool. And I think as a whole, all these songs that I've been putting out recently, and this record that's about to come out, it's sort of the first time that I've stepped away from writing just by myself and writing songs that I've written just by myself and really collaborating with a lot of people who I respect and love their work. And so this is kind of the first group of songs where it's a majority of songs that I've co-written.
That is new.
Songs, there's 2 songs on this record that I wrote by myself, and there's one song that's a complete outside cut. That one's already out. It's called "It's Still January," and that song's written by Keith Gaddis, who we all miss very dearly. But yeah, it's really kind of a cool departure from what I've typically done in the past and kind of how I've approached making a record. It seems like you can, to me, I can hear my friends in there as well, and I can hear all the different collaborators and songwriters with myself included in it. So it's really cool. It's always great to feel like you're working with really good people and that they're bringing out the best in you. And I feel like that's what we kind of accomplished with this group of songs. I think that it'll sound like I had some of the best songwriters in the world help me write these songs, because I did.
But it still sounds like you. Even the story you just told with Tennessee Drinkin', it may not be a girl, but you're constantly in this back and forth between Texas and Nashville. Oh, yeah. Your job Absolutely. And your other job, and you love both of them so much. I don't know how you deal with the separation. Yeah,
there's a line in that song that says, "I wish I could be in two places tonight," which is, I think, true for any musician. I mean, and it might not, like you said, it might not necessarily be a girl, but I've had to miss weddings of my own cousins and stuff, and just these commitments that you wish you could make them, and just given the nature of what we do for a living, it's a little bit difficult to do that. So I find myself wishing I was able to be in 2 places at once at the same time all the time.
I relate to that as well. My entire family's in Kansas. They're all at minimum 10 hours away from me. That's tough.
Absolutely. Long distance is hard for sure. But, hopefully it's a song that people relate to, and it's a really, I think, a catchy tune. And again, I think it was great to have really, really awesome grade A songwriters who love me and my voice and my songs, and they seem to be just as stoked to be working with me as I was to be working with them. And so when you have that mutual respect, it's really, really cool, and it's a whole brand new approach to writing songs, which I'm really excited to share those songs with the world and with my fans. So.
Well, the reason I get so excited about you as a songwriter, because listen to how we just talked about the gentleman you just named. Listen to how we talk about Dean Dillon and right. Guy Clark and all these people. We could go on and on. 50 years from now, that's you. That's who we're going to be talking about. So. For our heroes, we always have to remember that they're going to be gone. And our new heroes will be born, and that's you. And I don't know if anybody else sees that in your future, but I don't see anybody else but you being that name in the forefront.
Well, thank you, Corliss.
Oh, you're so welcome. I mean, it's just the truth, honey. It is what it is. That's your talent, and that's why I've always had such an outrageous respect for you, and I feel closer to your music than I happen to with others. And on another songwriter note, you'll love this question. I gotta know, did you ever get to write a song with Eric Paslay? Because I know he's one of your favorite writers. He's my favorite writer, and you have recorded a song of his.
Yeah.
Did you get to write one?
I did, actually. He's a really awesome guy. He's really cool. And,
he's so nice.
Yeah, he's like one of the nicest guys. And I've actually never met him. We did it over Zoom. We've done it over Zoom, but we got to chat for hours. And I need to get on that. I need to text him and see if we can meet up in person and try to hammer one out in person, because there's nothing like doing it one-on-one, face to face. And so. But yeah, I mean, I became a fan of his when that huge single that he put out as an artist, "She Don't Love You, She's Just Lonely." You remember that song?
I remember it because it was, so I already had his album on CD and vinyl, and that was my favorite song on the record. And I was working in regular country music at the time, and they released that as the single. I was so happy. So no, I was even a fan of his before that, I was literally a songwriter fan. I love that the songs that he wrote for Jake Owen and for Eli Young Band. So that's kind of what I mean by this songwriter effect. You can fall in love with these people and not even know who you're loving on.
Yeah.
You know,
but
I did because I'm a nerd about it. But yes, I do know the impact that song had on people, and the writing behind that can just shred you.
No, I mean, absolutely. I mean, with Tennessee Drinkin', Randy Montana, who was a co-writer on it, he's one of the best writers in town right now. He helped write Pretty Heart by Parker McCollum. He wrote Long Neck Ice Cold Beer Never Broke My Heart, Combs. I mean, it's like, if that doesn't tell you right there, two massive songs, who you're in the company of, then, I don't know what to tell you. But I'm just flattered. And, but these people take the time out of their busy schedules to write with me, and again, to have them show their excitement and their respect to be writing with me, just it speaks volumes. Because although I am proud of my work and what I've been able to accomplish, there's still kind of a factor where you're like, man, I can't believe these people are even like sitting down with me.
What do I always call it like imposter syndrome. Like, what am I doing here? I get that feeling all the time. Why am I in this room with these people that I am obsessed with? This isn't fair. I shouldn't be here. And that also shows your humility, and I hope you keep that with you as your success grows. And I've talked to you since your success has grown, and you haven't changed a bit to me. I hope you never will. I hope you guard that humility with your life. But of course, the final talk of the day, I had to ask the Eric Paslay question. And I'm genuinely scared of you releasing a William Beckmann, Eric Paslay song, because you may ruin music for me forever. You may create the best song I've ever heard, and then it's all done. I'm done. Bury me. What else can I do with my life if you do this?
Maybe we can. We'll come up with completely different names. We'll each come up with an alias. You'll never know it was us. We'll
good.
Just let it organically be out there.
Well, it would still be I would still hear it, and it would still be the best song, and I would still just die. So thanks a lot. No, you do have a brand new album on the way called "Here's to You, Here's to Me," and it goes along the lines of Tennessee Drinkin'. You said you made a drinking record. You were ready to party.
I did. You know what? And a lot of my fans know that I have a lot of bourbon whiskey was a big song on my last record, and I don't know. There's just something kind of about that, and so we put this record together, and we're excited. I think it's some of the best stuff that I've ever come up with, and it's just I felt like a lot of these songs that meant a lot to me are now going to be out there. So I think the title's "This is all for you," and "This was all for me," and hopefully we can all enjoy it. I hope the people enjoy the songs as much as I enjoyed coming up with them and recording them and singing them every night. So it just seemed like a fitting title. And it also works if you're holding a shot glass. You can just say, "Here's to you," and "Here's to me." And, it's cool. We're excited.
I'm excited for that as well. And when can we expect it?
That's coming out in July.
Ooh, that's coming up quick. Yay.
That's soon, very soon. We've already got 3 singles out. The first one was "Damn This Heart of Mine."
Which was...
that was number 1.
My God. Was that your first number 1?
That's my first one.
No.
Yes.
Not Follow, not Bourbon Whiskey.
No, it took me a couple tries.
No kidding. Well... I apologize for my counterparts on the radio desk. I'm sorry, they're stupid. You're the But "Damn This Heart of Mine," I still can't stop singing it.
Yeah, thank you. And that was another one that I wrote with a friend of mine, Nick Walsh, Nick is another fantastic songwriter, and he's a little bit closer to my age, but he's had a lot of success as a writer, and we both write for Warner Brothers. We both write it at Warner Chapel, and he wrote that song with me. I also connected him and William Clark Green over the pandemic. They wrote a song over Zoom called "Getting Good at Getting Drunk," and that was on Will Green's last record.
That's a great one.
I take credit for setting those two up.
You should. That's amazing. What a cool collab.
And he's got a lot of Riley Green cuts. I'm a big Riley Green fan.
Yeah, so, a lot of people around here are too.
So he's gonna have a big year. I got 3 songs that him and I wrote together off this record that's about to come out. So again, going back to collaborating with really, really cool people who I see eye to eye with, who get me an artist, because it is kind of hard for me to explain sometimes to people that, well, I like traditional stuff, but I also like there's modern things that I like, and then. But I also
sound like Frank Sinatra made love to Roy Orbison, and yeah, you're an odd duck. You're an odd duck, and it's exactly you are very odd.
People have a hard time describing me, but I feel like I have an even harder time describing myself, because I like a lot of different things, and I like putting it all in a melting pot and mixing it all up and seeing what comes out. But anyway, it's so awesome to be able to still be making music and producing it and feeling like we're on to good stuff, and people are enjoying it, and they're coming out to the shows, and just onward and upward, as I tell my whole team. We just got to keep on going and be grateful and thank God for the opportunity to be doing it. It's the coolest job in the world. So
absolutely.
So thank you for spinning it and for supporting it.
Always will, always have, at least so far.
Yeah, I won't. How about this? Let's make a deal. I won't change as long as you never change too. We'll just keep this. We'll keep this relationship, and we'll do interviews every couple months.
This is always our catch up. Or I have been really good about. I always make it out to at least one show a year, typically. So I always get one face to face with you a year at least, and a phone call, and we get to nerd out on writing music, because I don't have a writing bone in my body, but I'm so obsessed with words, and we have that connection. We always have, but I've also got to watch you grow too, and it's so cool to see. Even that growth has taken you all over America. What's that like? I gotta know I still know you as just a Texas country artist. It's really hard to see somebody. You get a first impression of someone, which even describing myself, I always say, I'll grow older, but I'm not growing up. I spent too much of my 20s trying to grow up, and I'm sick of it. I am here just living life and trying to be happy and just enjoying the music that comes along with life. And so I want to know what that national success feels like to you as well.
I mean, it feels great, and there's still a lot of work, I feel like, on my end to be done. There's still a lot of places that I haven't been to, that I haven't played any shows at. But there's always room for growth. I recently opened up for Corey Kent in San Jose, California.
Another one of my favorite songwriters that I got to talk songwriting with a lot about.
And he's fantastic and a good friend of mine, and Wild as Her is just a massive song, and has given him the opportunity to go all over the country, and he's got fans all over the place showing up to his shows, which I think is just absolutely incredible and so well deserved for him.
It happened really fast.
Yeah, and I just happened to be. I had to do something else, which was actually like a private thing the day after. So I was already going to be in California, and we're under the same management, and they asked if I wanted to do a little acoustic set before his band got up, and I was like, absolutely. I need to get out in front of people in California. I need to play for new people who might not know who I am. So we did it, and I was so blown away. I had like 10 people at the front of the stage, singing my songs. I was completely expecting to play just for his fans, that most people didn't know who I was. But even those 10 people, I was like, man, I got 10 people in San Jose, California. That's pretty incredible. And we need to keep coming back and turn those 10 people into 50 people, and then turn that 50 into 100, and try to just keep chipping away at it. But you just never know with the internet and TikTok and all these other platforms, and you just never know. Coming from being a Texas boy and touring extensively in this scene, you go to these other places and you're just like, man, let's cross our fingers and hope somebody shows up. And then they do. And it's just really hard to believe that you're in a town you've never been in before. And these people are singing these songs that you came up with in your bedroom. It's just really cool. And I know Corey loves it too, because I don't think he's ever played in San Jose, California, and he sold out that club. So
it was weird even really cool. Going back to see him at the Tap, because I had seen him at the Tap twice, and I was the only one in the room that knew his songs. And then that third time, I almost couldn't even get a seat in the place. Like, yeah. It happened so quickly. I was shocked by it. And have I told you how mad I am that Luke Combs released Fast Car and you didn't, speaking of TikTok? Livid. You know, I can't even be a fan of it, and I kind of like Luke Combs, but I hate that song. I am such a big Tracy Chapman fan, and then you did the viral video totally on accident. You were actually trying to sing the song, and I am so mad that I have still never heard you sing that song in its entirety.
Yeah, I think we kind of ruined it for ourselves when that video went viral. My best friend in the whole wide world, Nashville, him and I were just goofing off, and that I was singing the song. I kind of screwed up the words, and he's in the background being a goof, and I don't know, it was just a perfect combination. It was a perfect storm, because that video got like 20-something million views, and I still never got the words right. But Luke Combs he's playing that song now, but I don't think he's got a hype man like I do.
No, nobody got hype man like you do.
Nobody's got the hype dude like me.
Well, do me a favor, since we're making promises. You promise me next time I come to a show, I get to hear you sing at least half of that song.
Okay. We can do that.
All right.
We can do that.
And then I want you to brace yourself, because with this new album coming out, or talk to Corey some more, get some advice, because I think a lot of surprises I think things are going to change for you very soon. And I want them to, and I also just want you to be healthy and happy and wonderful, just like you are right now.
Well, thank you, Corliss. I appreciate you saying that.
That's William Beckmann, everyone. New album, Here's to You, Here's to Me, coming out this July. Make sure you're following along for all that music. Make sure you see him out on tour this summer, because he's the best damn live show you'll ever see. And keep listening to Maverick, because we play, all the William Beckmann songs, and they're all great. So, William, thank you for taking time out of your day and always coming to chat with me and check in with me here on Maverick.
Thank you so much, Corliss. Anytime.